Good evening, and welcome to the last day before spring break. I am the Diva D from Carved Out Divas
April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar, and we are diversity and equity in.
Education. And we are hosted by the fantastic and phenomenal Bianca Goolsby of Teaching for the Culture. So thank you all for joining us this evening. We were on a break for a week, we had a respite, and I don't know what happened in that space of time. We had the weather went from hot to cold. April got some swing in her loss. Go ahead, girl, swing it, swing it. Oh, look at them inches though. I love it. And let me tell you something. We are going back to school tomorrow. I've got many messages in the inbox from kids saying, "Is there school tomorrow?" Yes, there's school
Right.
tomorrow. Tomorrow is an early release day. I think they're getting it confused with the Good Friday that happens before Easter break. So I think
Right.
they're confusing that particular date. So no, there is school tomorrow. It is early release. Parents be aware of that. In keeping with that same theme of early release, parents, you've had an entire week to look at the book bags, to unpack the book bags, to wash
Oh
your
God.
clothing,
And the
to
word that they were supposed to
Febreze,
be working on while they were on spring break to catch up. Don't come tomorrow talking about
Lysol.
some. Can I make up something? No.
No. Well, let me tell you, the only thing we are going to make up, though, for us personally, since the last 3 days before spring break happened, we had no internet, and God knows what's going to happen when we go back to school
Oh God.
tomorrow. We're going to be finishing up whatever it is that we couldn't get finished due to an internet
No, I'm talking
failure.
about them grades that was due 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
No.
those grades,
What can I
that's
do
a
to do some extra credit? Nothing.
that's a wrap because the quarter is actually officially over on this Friday. So it
Yes.
really makes no sense to say, so remember, we're still in the third quarter. Fourth quarter doesn't begin until next week. So basically, this Friday is the last day of the third quarter. So just keep that in mind, parents. Keep it in mind. And again, the book bags. You still got a few hours to get that book bag cleaned out, fresh and Febreze. In fact, you could have bought a brand new book bag with the stimulus money. Whatever you felt like doing, bring bring something new to school or something clean to school. And no Axe body spray just to freshen it up is not going to work. That's going to kill us dead.
And a
As
box
somebody
of
who's been,
white, a box of Clorox, Lysol,
yes,
Fabuloso wipes would be nice for your good old teacher. Send them something out of your hard-earned stimuli.
we would love
Send
that.
us
We
a
would
little
love that.
something. Send us
Exactly.
something.
Right, because like I said, and I want to thank everybody who's been out and about since I was inside the house. I lived my spring break basically on Uber Eats and Netflix. So that's it because I couldn't go outside because I couldn't breathe. Today is much better. Yesterday was good too because the weather has changed. So parents be aware of that. Tomorrow as well, the weather is cooler. So please send the babies out
It's
with some
supposed to be
jackets.
cold in the morning, actually.
Hmm. So send them out with some jackets, please. Another thing that could have been purchased with the stimulus money, but we just throwing some thoughts out there, just like that, right? Oh, also face masks. There are a lot of the cloth face masks you've been wanting
Listen,
to.
my principal is
Hmm.
probably going to bust a blood vessel if a child comes to school tomorrow without a mask, and it's the same children every day. Parents, parents. These t-shirt cloth with the least amount of thread is not serving as any protection for your children that are not being handed out as masks. You knew when you sent your child back to school that masks were a requirement. The district said that they want to provide your child 2 packs of masks. Those masks have been used. Please do your part. You buy everything but a mask to put them on the bus with. The bus drivers don't even have masks anymore, according to these children. About 30 to 40 kids every day that come without a mask. How you even get on the bus? Oh, the bus drivers can't tell you to go back home because there may not be a parent at home. So you putting everybody at risk. Please do your part.
Please. And at my school, I know we hand out those cloth masks. So there's kids walking around that probably got 5 and 6 masks. All they gotta do is just wash them now. Just wash them, sterilize them, boil them, disinfect them, whatever you gotta do. They're cloth. They cloth. I mean, literally, they're cloth. You can put some hot water in a bucket and throw some Clorox on there and let them soak out, scrub them out, hang them up to dry, and they're good to go again. They're cloth. Okay, just suggestions again. Just
Like the
word of
clothes
advice.
we wear. Same
Right.
concept.
Same concept. And if you think about the fact that you could go out and buy them the little fancy ones now, but still go. Just watch them, keep going. All right. Also, keep it in mind, parents. When children tell you they didn't get the report card been came out. Okay, so it's on the district website. Your kids already have the report cards.
From the second out, they've been out there long time ago.
So please don't say, well, I didn't get a report card. Remember, everything now is digital. So your children have codes. They know how to access it. The report cards are out. Okay. All right. And also keep it in mind with that, because we're running through quick. Choice. The choice window closes on the 25th of March. We're going to implore you as public school teachers to choose public school. But, again, it's your particular choice. And along with that, boundaries, as they call them, and we're not making stuff up. You can go straight on the Hillsborough County website and see how they have the attendance boundaries beginning to change. Why are the boundaries changing? Well, one, charter schools, or choice. You don't have to send your child here, but your child going somewhere, which then changes the not only demographics, but also changes the size, the populations of the school, which also changes teaching assignments, which also changes how packed the classroom gonna be. Well, guess what? We don't need all these teachers. We could slap 30, 40 kids in the class. So you have to understand, one thing affects the other. So we just wanted to put that out there so you're aware of what's available and aware of the choices that you also have to make. April, you had a comment on that?
None at all. It's the facts. And don't wait until 11:59 to become intentional about being in the know of what's happening as it relates to the why behind the rezoning or the redrawing or whatever we want to reference it as, because it has been stated that there is tentatively going to be closures of schools. And keep in mind, the closures of those schools is probably 9 times out of 10 going to be determined by the schools that are not filled to close to capacity, and that's probably going to be the schools that are heavily impacted by children's parents that made the choice to put them in charter schools. So don't wait to become concerned about your child being bussed out into the suburbs and you can't get there to check on your children when there becomes a problem. So be very proactive in being in the know.
And that, of course, also adds an additional layer of trauma to your children. Because if your children are being bussed way, way, way out and they're away from their friends and their family, and especially parents who may not be able to get to them, just keep that in mind. Okay. So you got to look at all of the big changes, because when you start seeing population decreases or you start seeing people moving out to further areas, it's going to affect the school. Remember, the school is basically the heartbeat of your community. That's where children are going, and then the children grow up and children are going to enter society. So what you see if you really want to study the changes in a city, look at the changes in the schools, see what's happening with the schools. And when you start to look around, you're like, wow, okay, this school closed or this school might be opening and this one. And just remember too, that not every school, depending on what type of schools they are, they don't necessarily have to follow the same guidelines that Hillsborough County Public Schools has established. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your seniors, your kids who are in 11th and 12th grade, and graduation requirements. That's another thing we just need to throw out there. Keep that the wheels of your mind turning, because those things are happening. Okay. All right. So real quick, just drop this in there. Have y'all been seeing what's going on in Miami? They showing out for spring break, and they have been busting curfew. Curfew was supposed to be 8 o'clock. They have been out there partying and having a good time. Of course, nary a mask to be seen. So just wanted to let y'all know, Miami is just wilding right now. Just I know we were on spring break, but like I said, I was home being safe. But yeah, it's a little crazy out there. And then, of course, the official start of 2021, we all know is the month of March, because we all know that last year, March is when we went on lockdown. We have officially become, this is a full year that we've been on there. The big changes I've seen for myself, of course, I done gave me some pounds, because in between Uber Eats and watching Netflix and homeschool, home teaching, I ain't really, been anywhere. Okay. So that's first, but also just noting that it has been an interesting year in terms of, for teachers and students, learning online programming, on understanding the difference between what really works for children versus what does not work. And I, just being somebody who spent half a year home, My concluding thought on that is that I prefer brick and mortar. I really do, because I feel like I can get more done with my kids. So, Abraham, what's your thoughts on that full year
I've
of
been brick and mortar, so you thinking about it. I didn't have that luxury, so yeah, I think for my students that are at home doing e-learning, I think that they did not get the same quality of education, quality and quantity of education that they could have for this school year. However, I respect parents' decisions. If it was based upon a true need for them being at home due to a health risk, but for parents that's just being lazy, yeah, no, because it's clear they're not doing the work at home. Some students, and they clearly like, just why are you keeping your child at home? They'd be like, oh, because because COVID. Okay, but is it a health reason? Those are the questions that parents got to ask and make that tough decision to say send them back, because a lot of them they got a way further behind. Like for those kids that already were performing like on a third grade level, hey, now they stuck there because they didn't show too many gains this year.
And that is absolutely clear. That's the one, I would say, truly the biggest takeaway. Um, I do not anticipate any true growth from my students, and I can just be 100% honest. I mean, I know I enjoy when I see them growing and making accomplishments, but at the same time, I already know, based on the ones who just never came back, and the ones who are right now who are enrolled, even though they're doing mini assessments, some of them are really truly struggling with the mini assessments, and I realizing that, that whole gap, because you got to think about it, it's almost a year and a half now, this gap that they've been in, and it's for us to say we're going to take the FSA. Who I'm just all I can do is throw my hands up in the air. It's one of those pray and spray situations, because even the strongest students, if they were not constantly pushed at home, I would not anticipate seeing much progress on this current upcoming FSA, because we're behind a year with the FSA.
There has been some discussion that they are, I want to say that either superintendents were supposedly, or was it Cochran that was supposedly, were presenting for the test to not be be used for nothing more than to demonstrate the gains or the lack thereof of students, and not to be used as a true score this year. But that has not been identified, if that's going to be something that comes with some concrete yes or no it's going to happen. But I know that there was some conversation on the different groups, like in that I'm a part of, that there has been some discussion around that. I'm not exactly sure which of the two presented it, which of the was it, either Cochran or the superintendents, but just something to think about.
Right, because I don't think it's going to be wise. I mean, they're looking at the things like, okay, your BAM scores, the school grade itself. I mean, with all of this that we see right now happening. I mean, I was taking into consideration like this: would you grade a doctor right now? Would you give a doctor a grade? All these people who have passed away from COVID, would you give a doctor an F because he couldn't save everybody's life? Or is this something that is so traumatic that it really has impacted his job or her job, or nurses' jobs, or fire for everybody? It's affecting people's jobs. So that's something when you think about the bigger picture, it's not exactly something I would want to give a grade on, or put or give a high stakes test and say this, is all or nothing at this point in time. Not exactly a logical choice, I think. So that's just my thought process. So anyway, like I said, as at the because we ain't gonna be on here long, because we both burning the candles on both ends, and we prepping for school tomorrow. I'm prepping for that backup plan, because in the event that I walk in there and the internet don't work, I'm just prepared. I'm already prepared. Stacks
I
of paper.
printed mine
This
before we
thing.
left on Friday. I said they
Okay,
won't catch me again. They
my,
won't
my,
catch
my,
me again.
right. My photocopy stack is this big. I'm like, I'm ready to go, because like, you ain't, no ma'am, no sir. But
Along with me being able to locate a spot in the classroom to where my e-learners, I can still have access to them, given that they're not a Spectrum customer. That's the key. If they're a Spectrum customer and the internet is down, ain't nothing can happen. But some of them still were able to I taught them how to navigate going to Zoom without having to go through Canada. So yeah, we figured all that out before we left. So yeah,
Oh, okay. Boy,
yeah,
that's the struggle real, the struggle. So we'll call this
yes.
again. We'll call this the reboot of 2020. That's how we're gonna do. When we walk in the door tomorrow is the 2020 reboot. And speaking of a reboot, how about we start off the 2021 school year or year? There's a volcano in Iceland that been dormant for 6,000, not 6 minutes or 6 weeks, 6,000 years that just erupted. Welcome to 2021. What is it? Let the Hunger Games begin. Right.
Run through.
Run it. I like, look, let me just get right with God. Because God, if this is the time, listen, I want to be on the winning side. Okay, let me just, Lord, just forgive me. Okay. So, but that's really all. I have and anything else that you wanted to add? Oh, wait, no, that is not true. Hold up. Within the community, let me just share this real quick. Northeast Community Civics Association has a meeting on Thursday on the 25th at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. So please, if we are concerned about our community, about what's going on in the community, let's all participate. And then I'm gonna go ahead and share some information like that on below and also on our page and everything like that, because it's important to know what's going on in your community. If you do not either have a say or just get involved, you really can't complain about anything. So like these $300,000 houses they throw it up in East Tampa, and they're getting ready to redevelop West Tampa, and we're gonna see who will live there in just a minute. That's all I gotta say about that.
I totally agree. And just don't forget that the Sunshine Education Coalition, we are still moving forward with the agenda to eradicate and eliminate the school to prison pipeline. We need all volunteers, we need all voices, we need all hands on deck when it comes to us addressing this systemic issue that is plaguing our Black boys here in Hillsborough County. So, and actually nationwide. But we are
Right.
tackling small right now. So we are in the preparation of getting ready to launch some professional development or community development series, and we're super excited about that. Once
Yes.
again, the ultimate goal is to put this conversation in the mouths of all those that have a true interest in the betterment of children, and especially our Black boy. He is definitely taking the brunt or the hit with all of this when it comes to the systemic issues that's ongoing in our city. So therefore, take the time, visit our website, sunshineeducationcoalition.org, visit our site here on Facebook, learn about what we've done. And again, you are a part of the solution. The key thing is, are you willing to dedicate your genuine time to do it? That's the key.
That's it. And like I said, we're wrapping up early because, like I said, we listen. We got to get ready for school, and I got to get up super early in the morning, and it's cold.
I'm ready. Look, I already put my outfits out for the week, so I'm ahead of you a little bit. So all I gotta do
Go.
is jump in the shower and
That's it. All right. Well, guess what? How I got tongue tied just now? For diversity, for diversity and equity education, I am BT.
I am
And
April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar. Oh, and another thing. Currently, there is some important information occurring about education in Pinellas County. We need you all to visit Teacher for the Culture's page to learn more about that. There is actually a petition that is in place as well. So take the time. The NAACP legal educate no the NAACP Legal Defense Education Fund had to
Mhm.
step in this matter. So again, jump on over there, see what's going on, and be intentional about making sure that all children have the same quality education when they go to school. And we are diversity and equity in education.
Have a lovely evening, everybody. Bye.